Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. This is Heather Lloyd Martin, and I am President and CEO of SuccessWorks SEO Copywriting. Today, I wanted to continue my literary theme. So, if you checked out my blog post last week, then you know that I talked about what Dr. Seuss can teach us about good copywriting. Today, I want to talk about what Stephen King can teach us about the editing process. And Stephen King, of course, is a prolific writer who has written many books over the years. And one of his books that isn't quite as well known is one called On Writing. And this is a book that he wrote that talks about the process of writing and some strategies about how to write. And it's a really incredible book. If you are a freelance writer or you love to write, I recommend picking it up because it will teach you a lot about the craft. And one of the things he talks a lot about is editing and how important the editing process is to the final result. So that's what I wanted to discuss today is some tips that you can use to go through the process of writing a first draft and then editing it from there. So my first tip is when you're sitting down to write that first draft, just write it. Sit down and write that first draft without interruption and without editing your work along the way. And this is really good because when you write and edit at the same time, it kind of stifles that creative brain. And you can easily get hung up on a sentence that takes you 20, 30 minutes to tweak. And by the time you have it right, then you've lost the flow of your writing. So just get it out. Don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about flow. Just get that writing out of your head, and then we'll go back and tweak it later. Stephen King talks about the process of letting that writing sit and letting your brain sort of recover from the process. So if you can give yourself a couple hours or preferably even a couple days before you go back to edit the draft, definitely do it because you'll be able to look at your writing with fresh eyes. The second thing I would recommend is when you are looking at that draft again, that's the time that you can fix the big stuff, and that big stuff will be really obvious. So if you're writing a sales page, you want to make sure that that page has benefit statements, a really clear call to action. You also want to check if the writing flows, it sounds the way you want it to sound, and if that voice is going to click with your reader. So you've used the right tone and feel. This is also a great opportunity to slice a lot of copy from your page. So for example, I was working with a client who had submitted a 900-word sales page to me that I was able to slice down about 400 words. And I was able to do that within about 20 minutes or so. So that's definitely a really important step because it makes your writing even tighter. Now, ideally, once you've done that, you're able to put the writing aside again and then come back to it with fresh eyes. And then you can go through and tweak that little stuff. This is where you're getting your writing into almost final draft shape. And you're doing things like checking for grammatical errors or spelling errors you might have missed before, adding subheadlines or tweaking your headline. If you have long paragraphs, try to figure out if there's a way that you can shorten them up or do something different with them so they're easier to read, like add bullet points. And of course, if you see any opportunities to slice more copy, definitely do it. Because anytime that you slice copy, then you're making the writing that you have even tighter, even easier to read, better for your reader. And the final fourth step, again, if you can put the writing aside and come back to it, that's a wonderful thing, is to print out your copy, not just edit it on the screen, but print it out, read it out loud, and edit again. This is a step that not a lot of people take, but when you do take it, it's going to make your writing even better because it's amazing what you notice when you read the copy out loud. It will be very obvious if something doesn't flow. Or if you've overused your key phrases, you will definitely notice when you read it out loud, but when you're looking at your writing on the screen, that might not be as clear. So definitely always print out your copy, read it out loud, and take that additional editing step because it will really make a difference to your writing and your readers will love your content even more. So thank you very much, everyone. If you would love to learn more about SEO copywriting, please visit my site at seocopywriting.com. You can also sign up for my daily or weekly newsletter. And if you'd like to sign up for the daily newsletter now, all you need to do is send an email to dailyseocopy@aweber.com. And if you have any additional questions or would like to see a particular topic covered, please let me know. You can reach me at heather@seocopywriting.com or grab me on Twitter at @heatherlloyd. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care and have a great day.